Yud. Knesset Yisrael shall obviously Tikkun Olam b'chol miluo. Knesset Yisrael strives to fix the world in the totality of its that which it fills it. Zichar mekoris mitaheres to a original and purifying forgiveness. Sheba lorak mishuas nefesh adam, which comes not from just in the salvation of the soul of man, but tavas yitzon mitzaratzmo, and the improvement of his will from his own side. With this, you have to meet up with a willingness to forego and a attribute of chesed, which is unique. Without inclusion, with all the midos, and without the balance of powerful justice and judgment. So I'm not sure why he feels this way, but he feels that any individual or even a collective, but a human initiative is going to be very difficult to effectively fix the world, because you need to have a special midah of willing to forgo and chesed, and a willingness to diminish the midah of strong judgment and justice. In other words, for some reason, I guess individuals and even groups which are humanity based have a sense that justice has to be served and that things have to be fixed in a way which doesn't just bring about collective forgiveness or collective repentance, but rather that there has to be a restoration of justice and a restoration of balance. And that's not going to happen, he says. It's not realistic to expect that for the entire world. Only what we can look forward to, or what we could look forward to, or we should look forward to, as the ultimate tikkun, which we want to take place, is something which gets at the root cause of the sins. Chok HaTahara, the allocation of Tahara, Havaras Ruach HaTuma, which will move aside the spirit of Tuma, Yidesh Moshe Mashiach, by the name of Mashiach, Shekonim Olam. In other words, there's redemption which will not necessarily hinge on justice, even though, of course, we say, in Shemon Esrei,
Melech Oyhev Tzedakah
right, Melech Tzedakah Mishpat, right. Nevertheless, it's not the tikkun which was going to happen, which will be universal. Paraduma mechaperes. So the he metaheres bitumas meis. It's mechaper and also it's metaher. It atones and also purifies. It's embedded in removing the death from its foundation. In uprooting the world from the depths of its sin. From the sin of the land, which on the third day did not fulfill the will of God and produce trees, grasses and trees which had the taste of the fruit. And the Kitchu Gavana, the moon's prosecution of the sun, saying that there should not be equal. So from the falling of the world's theory at the foundation of its existence. In other words, there was this unique quality which the land should have possessed, and the luminaries, the moon and the son should possess, which is the manifestation of Ratzon Hashem, which is which was which diminished the world. And it diminished the world's ideals in its existence. And this led to prepare the way for the sin of humanity. And all the great travails which came from it. Everything has to be fixed. Everything has to be purified. So, yeah, I guess this punchline is the next line. She'ifas Yisroel, the aspiration of Am Yisrael, lebinyan ha'uma, to building the nation, l'shivas arts, to the restoration of the land of Israel. She'ifa, it's an ambition, shel omek hatov, are the depth of good, achoder eskol hayesh b'shorsho, which penetrates all existence in its roots. The idea evidently is that we're not concerned with justice, we're concerned with good, which is, again, I'm not sure how much I accept that idea, but here it's a novel idea that, a lot of our assumption of the Geula is that there's going to be an Akama, right? There's going to make the Lasos to come up Bagoyim, right? So, no, says Rav Kook, there's no Nakama, there's no Mishpat, there's only Tov. It reminds us of the famous statement of Rav Kook, HaTzadikim Amitim Einam Kovlim Al Harisha Ela Mosifim Tzedek. The true tzaddikim do not complain about wickedness, they add righteousness. So the idea is that we're not here to deal with wickedness and punish it. We're here to bring about good. And the Los Kibas Lebainam Eza Binyan, it's not, it's an interesting metaphor. I don't really fully grasp it.
Well, I think Los Kifas Levana.
No, I don't think it's Labana. I think it's Levana. Not raising some brick from some structure. But rather a turn which is complete and full and deep to the foundation of the entire building. In other words, to fix a brick would be to restore justice, right? We're not interested in restoring justice. We're interested in going down deep into the foundation and redoing the entire building. Okay, so there's not, it's not a fix in the sense of fixing what's wrong, but it is a restoration from the ground up. Lo etzim achadim, similarly, not specific pieces of wood, vanopim, more branches, meilon achayim batov, from the tree of life and the tree of good, el achsovas hamakor, but rather to reveal the source, as Mayan achayim, the spring of life. She, what word do you have there?
It looks like Leshed, Lamed Shin Daled.
Yeah, leshed, but without a shin in the beginning, right?
No, I have a shin.
Oh, you do have a shin.
Yes, Shaleshed Eitzachayim.
I guess leshed means the moisture, the sap, the sap. Shaleshed Eitzachayim, that the sap of the tree of life. In Kol Shvashav, all of its roots, Gazav, trunks, and Afav, branches, Perosav, its foliage. Well, actually, it's growth of the upper branches. I'm not sure how to translate that. For all of its leaves, Misham Yonek, to reveal that source in which it derives its nourishment. So, going back to what he said before about the land and the moon,
Is he saying that we have to even be misaking the plants which were rebellious, and the moon, which also did something wrong.
Yes.
That to go back beyond even that,
Yeah.
to be misaking the crookedness that was caused or that is in the Maisa Bereshis itself.
Right.
Is that what he means?
Even the sins which preceded Adam. In other words,
Right.
even we're not even here to fix man. We're here to fix the creation, and even the things which went wrong in creation before man. So the idea is one in which we're here to that's he's saying to bring back the source of good, right? The fountain of life, and to bring this ruach chaim, ruach chadash, olam chadash yiboneh. Many yavo ruach chaim, ruach chadash, olam chadash yiboneh. Ki kasher shemayim chadashim b'aretz chadasha asher ani oseh, and the evidence is a pasuk that I'm going to make a new heavens and a new earth. Only for they're saying for new Hashem, so too will stand your progeny and your name. So, like many things in Orot, it's a beautiful idea, which is short on details. The idea that the tikkun is for the totality of the world is a beautiful idea. I wish it were true, because I don't think most of Am Yisrael is interested in a tikkun of the totality of the world. I think we actually mostly have a very parochial view of what a gula would be, and a very narrow view of what a redemption would consist of. So Rav Kook is saying, no, we want everything to be, so to speak, start from scratch. And that means that we're looking to bring good into the world as opposed to justice into the world, and fix the things which are ruined from the beginning as opposed to fixing even mankind. That's not enough for us. What do you have to add?
Well, I was outside today working, and we're in a very strong, severe drought here. And some of the concrete on my driveway had shifted a while back because of the lack of rain. And
You
so I
live
had
in
to
Dust
hire.
Bowl. You live in
What's
Dust
that?
Bowl. You live in Dust Bowl country, don't you?
Well, actually, when we lived in North Texas, that was Dust Bowl country.
Oh,
But now we're in Southern Texas, but still drought.
okay.
And so I had to hire a company to come and level out my driveway, and they pumped all sorts of foam underneath and everything. And so I think that's very similar here. He seems to be saying that the entire foundation of creation has some sort of leaning to it. It shifted during the process of creation in some way, and that doesn't have to do with justice or tzedek. That has to do with creation. Had to do with toiv, right? Vayalakim ki toiv. So I think that's what he means. In other words, once you you level off again the foundation by correcting the leaning that has been caused during the process of creation, or that has taken place during that process, then and that's through a process of tov, then everything can be, you can readjust all the doors that have become crooked because of the shifting and of the house, and you can fix all that properly, and that's more cosmetic than the Yisodistika tikkun that has to take place beforehand. I think that might be similar to what he's saying.
Okay, I think that was a good analogy. So I think that what what is no relevant for us, although he's not addressing this at all, is that this is an idea for Rosh Hashanah,
Yeah.
which is that there are two ways to look at Rosh Hashanah. One is that I'm fixing what went wrong, and restoring kind of like balance, which would be like a shikul shel oz tzedek mishpat. And then there's a possibility of starting a new year with a certain new ruach of Tara, which actually is supposed to bring a person to a higher level, not just in terms of restoration, but in terms of starting afresh, starting like with a
Right. I think that there's a difference between like cosmetic patches or fixes and really readjusting your whole outlook. Sometimes you have a certain avera that you do, and it's maybe because of laziness or whatever. It's not like a core thing that you have to patch it up. You have to fix it, work on it, readjust it. But if you have a problem with your foundation, then that's a whole different avoda. That you have to look at things differently. To fix your foundation, that's a different type of tshuva and a different type of quality of tshuva, I think.
Right. So there, where do he where use the word yisod? Where do you use it? Where do you yisod here?
What's that?
Yeah, over here, right. Kim pniyah shlema v'amuka yisod shekah binyan l'choneno b'tikun. Okay, so
Right.
that's your metaphor, and it works out very well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if he actually let's see what you have. Kol ma shenosin koach yoser gadol olam haba. Anything which gives greater strength to the world to come, Yoser Chai Ba'ometz, Gam B'olam Hazeh, is more alive also in strength in this world. V'adar Mispachem B'Yisrael Le'inyan Binyan Uma, that has to do with how we can construct our nation. Kol Ma'ametz is Chai Olam, anybody who adopts or who strengthens. The Imutz in modern Hebrew means to adopt, but it means to strengthen. The Chai Olam, anybody who strengthens the life of eternal world. He builds the nation in practice. So it follows up on you. In other words, there's a success of the world is the success of Am Yisrael. And this is the greatness of Torah Shbal Peh, Shalomda Lehaz Lazgir.
Lahasgir doesn't mean like a maskir is like a lieutenant, a guy who takes care of everything for you. You have somebody has a masgir, he has like I don't know what you would call him, an assistant or a guy who does his errands and does all his things that he needs, makes his appointments, like a secretary or an
No, that
assistant.
fits in here. Let's see. Shem Lashgila Skaya Lamim Bimlomu Vanambuma, Velotimili Bunchel Stokim, and to reject the pathway of the Sadducees. Shislabusama Lumis Damsol Laheven Shoteven. Their national flame was like the flame of straw. Shnishtal Hava, which got a flame, and then got extinguished. Benana no longer exists. Lomar, and in other words, the Torah Peh says, because the Stokim, evidently they didn't believe in Olam Haba. They believed in reward and punishment, but not in a new physical world which will exist after this one. So they didn't believe in this actual full the full notion of anticipating Olam Haba and living Olam Haba in this world. And therefore, the Chazal made a special form of Amen in the Beis Hamikdash, which is Lahotim Liman Shel Tzdokim, to say Baruch Hashem Keso Min Ha'olam Ba'ad Ha'olam. They would say Baruch Hashem Min Ha'olam Ba'ad Ha'olam, from Olam Hazeh to Olam Haba. So Olam Hazeh Yibonev Yikonen Gam Achshav Omek Chaim Chaim Lumim BeYisrael B'Yiskadel Binyan Orot. So from the foundation of this world, which is Torah Sheba'al Peh, which is, of course, the application, the way Reb Kook is trying to define it now. The application of principles of Olam Haba to Olam Hazeh, how to bring about in Olam Hazeh a state which is Olam Haba dik. So this is the way to construct our land, the state, the land in Israel, is in Olam Haba dik vein. And all the general strengthening, which go in parallel, I think it means here, to the rejuvenation and resurrection of the Jewish world, which goes and is revealed in its various different pathways. Which are all linked to each other like a chain, which is Gedola, which is great, Aruka, long, Misubacha, complex, and Nifla, and wonderful, Me pillows tamim deim from the amazing wonders of Hakadosh Baruch Hu, who's perfect in his wisdom, in his knowledge. So this is similar to the previous simon, but also not explained very practically, which is that the idea of Olam Haba is supposed to permeate Olam Hazeh. And I think that that's the Ruach of Tara he's speaking of. In other words, there's a concept of living, like we say, it's Omer Tila David, Shlosh Upon Mechoyam, Reza Ben Olam Haba. There are ideas which make a person a Ben Olam Haba, also an Olam Hazeh. And a Ben Olam Haba is somebody who lives on a spirit level of Tara and Kedusha, and which transcend this world. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to do with Tzedek or Mishpat. Has rather to do with an idea of everything being good and everything being holy and everything being uh, um, uh, um, connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in a way which is permanent and planned for ultimately achieving that tikkun, as opposed to haphazard and just present oriented. Anyway, so what comes out from Kook, and I think from Unity Aleph together, is that the tikkun for Olam Hazeh is Olam Haba. The idea of Olam Haba is best manifest in Torah Sheba'al Peh. Torah Sheba'al Peh is meant to bring the Kedusha of Olam Haba into Olam Hazeh. And the idea is that there is a goodness and a holiness which is represented by the life which we perceive to be that of Olam Haba, which is supposed to fix and bring a new ruach to this world. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a nice idea. Again, it's short on details.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's
He's never specific. He's always
right.
very general or amorphous or something.
But
It's very hard to pin him down.
right. The main idea, I think, which the main theme which we see in all this farm of Cook, but particularly here, is let's try for it Romamuta Ruach, and everything else will fall into place.
Right.
If we try to uplift our spirits, forget about the details. Live on a different astral plane, and everything will be fine.
Right. Elevate ourselves, and then everything will be elevated.
Right. Okay. Maybe it'll work.
Very good.
Halavai.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good week. Take care.
Bye-bye.